So today I want to talk to you about something that I'm really super passionate about, and that is premarital counseling. It's something that my husband and I did. We talked about it before we got married, and we feel like it really benefited us. So I know Miss and Melissa, you guys have had similar experiences where you did seek advice from somebody before your wedding. So Miss, I want to start with you, and if you could talk a little bit about what your experience has been with Ronald. You're getting married in when? Just a few weeks, right?
Right, about 4.5 weeks. So it's
wow, 4.5 weeks. Oh wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. We're doing like all the last minute details. And one of the things I was thinking about today is that we actually need to fit in one more counseling session somehow within those 4 weeks. We're getting, our bishop is marrying us, or my bishop, and he lives in New Jersey. So we kind of had to shuttle back and forth between where we live in Maryland to New Jersey to kind of like fit in these counseling sessions. And he actually has been really sweet. He doubled them up for us. They're usually like 1 hour sessions, but we usually do like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a pretty intense. Like the first one was kind of like just getting to know each other. Like he knows me, we grew up in his church, but like him getting to know Ronald and kind of gauging our relationship and seeing what our strong points were and what we felt like we needed to work on. And it kind of made us have conversations with each other that we've never really had before. Like, for example, we were talking about like what we needed from the other person in our relationship in order to feel content. So like comfortable, like this is my husband, this is my wife, and this is our relationship, and this is our relationship and nothing that no one else can enter into.
So Melissa, John, your husband, his father actually married you guys, so I wanted to know a little bit about that experience and what were some of the things that he told you.
Okay, well when we first got engaged, that was just a common knowledge that his dad Wayne was going to marry us. So about 2 months before the wedding, we started talking with him, and it was about 2 or 3 meetings, and they went through what we wanted in the ceremonies. And part of his whole focus was to make sure that we were both on the same page, that we both understood the importance of marriage, your vows, and keeping them through good times, bad times, everything that's included in them.
Right. If John's dad wasn't a pastor, do you think that the pair of you would have sought premarital counseling, like religious or otherwise?
I'm not sure. I mean, I had a lot of stuff coming into our relationship that I blogged about with divorced parents, and so we had gotten onto topics a lot of time on our own about both growing together. And I think that I was probably, like, I've had long-term relationships before and he hasn't. So early on in our relationship, we kind of saw that, we both weren't on the same page, and we worked really hard to get under the same understanding and working, to become a unit together, even though we were just dating and there was no, we knew we wanted to get married, but it was too early in the relationship to try to work that out. And so I think that the entire time, I don't know if I would have gone to premarital counseling. I see the value now in it, and so now if I would have done it again, I would have done it. But I honestly don't know, because to me I felt, stubborn, like, oh, we're good. We're open, we're honest, we're fine. But
yeah, I think that's a really interesting point to make, because I think that counseling in general sort of has like a stigma attached to it, and I think that stigma is sort of dwindling away, since like more recent years, I guess maybe the last 10 or 15 years, where it's now like therapy and counseling isn't looked at as like, acknowledging a weakness. It's more like you want to sort of solve a problem, and so I know for us, one of the things was like, we wanted to do premarital counseling because it's like preventative, like anything. It's like with your health or with whatever, it's like better to try to prevent something than wait till something happens and then try to seek help afterwards. I mean, it's good, like if something does happen, you should seek help, when it does come up, but
I think it's less intense. It's not like, it's not like there's some fight or something that happened and you're trying to fix it because you have all those emotions. You're at a more calmer place and trying to figure out how, situations that might come up. So
I think it's a good foundation to have in your relationships. And like you were saying, like when things come up, you can go back to that base point. And use these tools that you're learning now to kind of facilitate the argument, facilitate whatever the issue is, so that you can get over that hump in your relationship.
Right, definitely. I sort of feel like it's kind of like a tool that you always have in your back pocket, and it's something that you should really, hang on to.
So we would like to hear from you to see if you have done premarital counseling with your spouse, either before the marriage or if you're currently going through it right now, to hear your thoughts and opinions on it, whether it's been a benefit to you or if you think it wasn't, what your husband maybe thinks about it too. So feel free to leave a comment.